Do you love celebrity gossip? Because I've got with me right here a hyper-local celebrity, Gabrielle Nunzio. Check it out on Meet the Filmmakers. We're here with local celebrity, Gabrielle Nunzio, with Meet the Filmmakers. Gabrielle, what was your team in the 48-hour film project?
My team in the 48 was Warehouse 47 Films.
Excellent. And what was your film this year?
Our film was Tabula Rasa. It was a noir film.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about, like, who are you outside of this filmmaking world? What are you doing in your day-to-day life?
So I have been acting all my life. Primarily, it used to be theater, and then after I graduated in 2021, it was film for sure. Now I kind of bounce back and forth between theater and film. I can't pick. I love them both so much. And I am an actor. I am a stage combatant. More recently, I added director and writer to my credits.
Excellent.
So that's super exciting. And then nowadays, I do stuff when people let me, and I primarily work with Warehouse 47 Productions, which is a video and film production company. It's run by two people that I love very dearly, Donovan Gale and Jake Gleason. I'm the director of operations. So I just, love working with them.
All right. So you're acting with them, and then you're also directing with them sometimes?
I just did, actually, in February.
Very, very cool. Was this your directorial debut?
Yes, my directorial debut.
Excellent. And when will people be able to see that?
So right now, I can tell you that it's premiering on Friday, May 30th.
Okay.
The time that this will be seen by our lovely friends.
It just premiered. It was so awesome.
It was
I
so
thought
cool.
the premiere was great.
It was
well done. Yes.
Yes.
So yeah, by that time it airs, we'll be talking about past tense, but
Sure.
It was awesome, and everyone else should go see it online.
Maybe.
Okay. All right. Maybe.
I think so.
Excellent.
Just ask me about it.
So what's your favorite part about the 40-hour film project in general?
I love the energy. I love the fact that you can work with your friends and make a movie, and in 2 days you have a movie, and you didn't before. And I love that it's, for me as an actor, in 2 days I can have real footage, which is huge.
Very important. I mean, that's like the lifeblood of an actor,
Absolutely.
showing what they've done before. And sometimes a film doesn't really get done. Sometimes a film takes a really long time.
You never get it back.
Yeah. And this, pretty low risk for high reward, right? I mean, you got a day in on the acting, maybe two. Maybe if you're helping out with the writing and stuff, you're in for the weekend.
Kind of,
yeah.
You can tweak it as needed.
But you can learn and grow a lot in this
Absolutely.
competition. Also, I mean, it sounds like you got some good friends and partners and whatnot in Warehouse 47, but often people will bounce around teams and they'll meet other directors and they'll work with other people. And
Very
that's a
good
fun
way of
time.
networking for sure.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So your film in 2024 did pretty well. I feel like you had almost 10 nominations overall. And I remember the judges liking it a lot. And it's interesting because sometimes even though they don't get a lot of awards, like winning them actually, the judges really think about them a lot and really enjoy them. And yours was one of them. There was 3 noirs this year. And I think that maybe hurt all 3 of the noirs because they would refer to the noirs.
Yeah.
And there's not always 3 noirs. So I think that, communally in the judge hive mind,
They all blended together.
yeah, in a way that like none of them got to stand out necessarily.
Well, so that's actually why we were so grateful for the nominations, just because to me an award is phenomenal, but the nomination itself is even just saying like this is worthy of this award. So the nominations themselves to us felt like awards, even if we didn't win them. So and we did get, I believe we got 9 of them, which we were absolutely over the moon about.
I'm going to backtrack on saying none of them stood out because I think yours stood out. So I think that's why I got the 9 nominations. So kudos on being the standout of the noirs. Yeah.
It was very cool to have that genre, both because Donovan, who wrote it, it's such an important genre to him, one of his favorite films of all time, as those who watched the cut of our 48-hour film may be able to tell. His favorite film is Blade Runner, which very much inspired our film. And then the other 2 teams actually contained a lot of our friends. So it didn't feel like we were competing really with anybody, but especially the fact that all 3 of our teams had the same genre. It didn't feel like we were, at least to me, it definitely did not feel like we were competing with anybody to have the best noir. It was just like, oh, our friends are doing it too.
You're very kind. I think I don't know what the other people were thinking, but I remember when I used to
can't assume,
compete.
yeah.
When I used to compete, I probably would have been like, "There's 3 other noirs!" Ah! Like I would have been so
Yeah,
mad.
I think
I would have been
because
so
they
mad.
were our friends, they took that element
well, fair
out.
enough,
It was just
yeah.
like, oh, my friends made a noir too. I'm so interested to see like what they did with it, like
Sure.
where their mind went with it.
So, did you have any big challenges with this film? Is there anything that just was like, "Oh my God, how do we get through that?"
I would say, yeah. So I was the only member of our team that had ever done the 48 before. So I think we had a little bit of like a stuttering start where we were just kind of trying to find our rhythm and be like, okay, what is the most effective way of doing this? Trying to manage like too many cooks in the kitchen.
So you were the team leader and the
I
only
was the
person who
team
had done it
leader.
before. Did you read the rules?
I did read the rules.
All right.
Read the rules.
Read the rules.
Read the rules.
Read the rules. Yes.
But so we were trying to just it started out with all of us just yelling stuff out, and then it took one of us, Donovan, being like, you know what, I'm gonna write this, see if you guys like it, and thankfully we did. So we found our groove, but it definitely took a minute to iron that out, and it worked very well for us that we're all friends and that we like gel so well together that we were like, okay, we're just gonna trust Donovan, and I'm very grateful that we did.
There's an art to the brainstorm and the writing process. There's definitely a too many cooks situation that happens with writing. I mean, so what we used to do, because a long time ago, competed in this competition, and as you know, sometimes like super teams form, and
Yeah.
I was on a super team. So we would end up having like 20 people in a room all spitting out ideas. So we had to frame it. So it was like, okay, we do have a brainstorm session where everyone gets to talk, but then we have a writing session
Yep.
when the writers write. Because that way, we can be kind and gracious to every idea. And then when the writers write, they can just throw them away if they don't like them without anyone feeling bad. Because in the public setting, everyone wants their idea to shine. But they can't all
It's
be in
about
there.
the group as a whole. And it's so hard when everybody is so creative and has very good ideas, but you're like, guys, we have 48 hours.
There's definitely that.
Oh.
What's it like when you saw it on the screen the first time at the premieres?
It was really cool. It was really cool. I remember I've had a couple films screen at the North Park kind of like throughout my teenage years and young adult life. But like this one definitely felt, I think, more energized, more like electric. The energy at the North Park when we were at the screening was phenomenal. Everybody was just like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to see what everybody made. And I remember for a lot of films, I think ours included, there was audible responses to things, which is just so gratifying. Because I feel when you're watching a movie in a movie theater, you be quiet. So, but it didn't feel wrong, and it just felt so. It felt like the magic of movie making.
It's an energized crowd, and
Absolutely.
you get the laughter.
Yeah.
Not in your film because it wasn't funny, but,
There
it
are
wasn't.
still reactions.
Yes,
And it's
yes.
like it's one of those moments where you really can appreciate the community that's come together to make all these films.
Yeah, but so to hear audible things
Yeah.
in a film that's not laughing, that's even more powerful.
Like
Because
gasps
I was gonna say
or, like,
people are
crying
gasping, people are
sometimes.
getting
That was
emotional
definitely
about
me
it.
in a couple films.
Well, it happens. It happens. So overall, the premieres, smashing success, great fun, and recommended to everyone out there.
Definitely.
Do you have any tips for other people out there?
I would say first and foremost, make sure you're having fun, because if you're not having fun, there's no point. I would say to try, if you can. Obviously, some people are coming into this with like really not connections, but like they're just kind of like, I wonder who I'm going to meet. And that's wonderful. I personally think that the best way to do this is with people who you love to work with or good friends, because it just creates memories that are really, that I at least will hold for a very long time. I would say assign people roles and try to stick to them as best you can so that you can avoid the too many cooks situation, so that you can avoid that kind of like stuttering start and you can just go.
Well, you learn real fast, so you can work with who you can't too.
Yeah.
So there's that element.
Especially when it's 2 a.m. on Saturday.
Yes, and it doesn't always go swimmingly for everyone. So people do learn. Maybe that wasn't the best thing, but better to learn here and now than on a real production or on something multiple days or anything like that. So it's a good
a wonderful
sandbox.
learning experience for sure.
What's your game plan for 2025? Are you back in the game? Are you doing it again? What would you do differently?
Yes, we are back in the game this year. We have been talking about it for 6 months. We're super excited. I think making our film in 2024 and it having the reaction that the community gave to us is what is energizing us. And we're just like, okay, we want to do even better. We want to like make something. We learned so much from our 2024 film. Our game plan is, I don't know if we have a game plan as much as it's just we want to do well and have fun and make something that we can be just as proud of, if not more proud of, than we were with Tabula Rasa.
Well, those are
Because,
great
yeah,
goals. Yes, those are great goals. It sounds like you had a lot of fun and
We
you
did.
made something you're very proud of, and that is what's the most important. So that's wonderful. Is there anyone you're looking out for in this competition? Is there anyone that you really want to see? Can't wait to see what they do next?
Yes. Before I mentioned crying during the premieres, I'm very excited to see 38 Gigabytes.
Okay, yeah.
Because their film Uber
Yeah.
was
Puppet Team.
I absolutely adored that film. I adored that film. Like pretty much anybody who talked to me at any of the events, I would be like, Uber was so good. And I wasn't on that team, obviously. But no, I thought it was phenomenal, and I can't wait to see what they do. I thought it was a wonderful, wonderful film.
They are always solid performers. R.I.P. to our dear friend, Mr. Adam Krutinger, also. And, he was always such a force in those films. And I got to be honest with you, I think the only reason that puppets are really on my radar is because of
him.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And the way his teams have been performing over the years, and they make it fun and exciting.
Absolutely.
So what genre do you hope you're going to draw this year? If you could just pick one and that you could make it so, what would it be?
I would like drama, because
All right.
I think it's the most kind of generally marketable. I know Donovan and Jay are hoping for horror.
Okay.
And I don't really think I have feelings about that.
So you can mix, though, because if you get a horror, you can make it a dramatic horror.
I feel like horror is a very powerful genre, though, in that I feel like the only interesting combo with horror that in where it's like it's not just a horror is when it's like horror romance.
Okay. Yeah.
Because it has to very clearly be a romance and very clearly be a horror. I feel
Yeah.
horror is naturally very dramatic.
Well, if you draw horror and romance, it is a coincidence. It has nothing to do with any rigging or anything. So we're going to
We'll do our best.
We're going to hope that you do, but also if you do, it is the coincidence of a lifetime. So cross your fingers and let's hope
They're
for
crossed.
a lifetime coincidence. We'll see you on the big screen, and we'll see you at the premieres and all the other events and at the award show. And I love you all.